You are so mature for your age.
Because they are wise beyond their years. They are old souls who have a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge, man, that it triggers people and it scares people and it intimidates people. And they trigger people who lack control of their emotions and their ego.
One way to confirm that you are a true chosen one is if you look younger than your age, but you act as if you are way beyond your years. You act as if you're already an old man or an old woman, because you do have an old spirit. I work with a lot of older men and they think that I'm 26, 24 on a good day, but I'm 33 years old. So they always look past me as if they think I know less until I start speaking. Then when they really see the wisdom and the intuitive abilities that I have, then they realize, oh man, you beyond your years, you know. But physically, I'm in better shape than I was when I was in my 20s. It's like I'm going in reverse time with my body. I can run laps around the younger me. You know, I'm way more in shape. I'm way more healthy, guys. And I've always had an old spirit. I've always been a homebody. The one to say, you know, I'm cool, I'm going out, I'm gonna stay in tonight, you know, I'm gonna chill. And we have that old spirit because we naturally self-preserve ourselves. We are the preservers of our life. As a chosen one, we tend to not be involved with things that drain our energy. So a lot of the times we tend to be alone because people drain our energy. We tend to not go out so much because events, being around strangers, being around toxic energy drains our energy. So guys, we move like an old person, but we look way younger than our age. Stay chosen.
Chosen ones have the rare ability to be smarter than everybody by 100%, but look slower than everybody by 100%. You see, God got you looking real slow on the surface, but you really so smart and know everything. You know a lot. That's why you able to unveil truths and hidden secrets, because when people come around you and they think you slow, they tend to show their hand real fast. And they don't even know when you notice it, because you still remain like you slow and don't know what's going on. That's why you always got the upper hand on people, chosen one, because God gave you that rare ability. Yeah, they think you real slow. They think you dumb and don't know nothing. They think you don't pay attention to nothing. They think you just a sitting watching duck. But the whole time you just sitting back watching them. You just sitting back playing defense. They playing offense and you playing defense. Yeah. They don't like that, chosen one. Matter of fact, they don't even know that about you. Stay hidden.
See, the thing about the chosen one is that they're way beyond their time. They are wise beyond their age. They are old souls. Yes. And so because chosen ones have such an ancient aura, a lot of people get triggered when they come around a chosen one, because the chosen one just knows it all. They're tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to the truth, to the esoteric realm, and to the quantum realities of life. They operate from a metaphysical world. They operate from the metaphysical standpoint and bend the matrix in real time. They're so gifted, they're so talented, they're so smart and articulate and literally ahead of their time. That's why a lot of people can't keep up with the chosen ones. A lot of times people can't make friends with the chosen ones. They can't get ahead of the chosen ones. As a chosen one, oftentimes find yourself in situations and circumstances where people just get intimidated or threatened by you. It's because they know that there's something about you that's powerful, right? You have this energetic substance to you, right? Because you get the downloads from the source, because you get downloads from the universe, you're tapped in with your ancestors, you're tapped in with the stars, astrology, the zodiacs, right? And you've explored a plethora of information pertaining to personal development, mindset, nervous system regulation. Things like this are not common to most people. And because you embody what it means to know and live in accordance with these truths, a lot of people can't handle it because they're not prepared like you. They're not in alignment like you. They don't have the proper discernment like you as a chosen one does. And that irritates them. That makes them feel some type of way. They get jealous, they get envious of chosen ones. And so that's why as a chosen one, it can be hard for you to make friends, and it can be very difficult to keep people around because people naturally want what you got. They want to be the same way as you are. They try to do what you do, but they're not chosen like you. And that makes them mad. And it makes them upset because you're always one step ahead as the chosen one. And nobody likes to feel like they're behind or like they're losing. Because you trigger normal people. Because they know that you are the chosen one. And you have things that they don't. And you know things that they don't know. Stay focused.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Life Beyond Aesthetics. Okay, so today we're talking about a topic that I've actually never spoken about this topic before, but it's an experience I believe a lot of us have shared. And this is when people say you sound wiser than your age. It's when people see you as a young person, but when they hear you speak, they are surprised, you know. They did not expect you to say the things you are saying. It's not like you're saying a bad thing, but they did not expect you to articulate yourself, you know, correctly. They did not expect you to like be bold in what you're saying, explain things the way you explain it, you know. Like they did not just expect it from you, because as one of our creators said, when people look at you, they feel like she's slow, she's naive, she's just young, she's just small and everything. But when they sit down with you and talk and they hear you speak, do you know the funny thing? The things that you say leaves a mark on the people you interact with. Like, that's just the funny part of everything. Like, the things you say, your words, your voice, your tongue is so powerful. And I'm not even saying powerful in the sense of what you say shall happen. No, I'm talking about your voice has impact in people's lives. It literally does. Okay, so when you speak, people pay attention. Have you noticed that? You might be in a group setting, but when it's your turn to speak, everybody goes quiet. So listen, people take you seriously. Okay, and why? Because you don't talk too much and everything. So when you finally talk, people know that it carries meaning. Yeah, like they should not interrupt you, literally. Okay, you just have that presence. So a lot of people, when you speak to them, they will be like you sound so wise, or you hear them tell you you're so smart a lot. Have you ever heard that? Like when people constantly tell you like you're so smart, you're so wise for your age, just stuff like that, you know. And the funny thing is true. It's actually true, and it's because of, you know, your upbringing. It could be, you know, when you're born into certain types of household, sometimes you are made to like mature before your age. But this is not even about maturity in the sense that society has portrayed it to be. You know, what society has portrayed as maturity is not maturity. Or maybe it's maturity without wisdom, because there are a lot of older people who are not wise. So you are young and you are wise, and that's what scares people. Like, that's what shocks them. And they listen to you talk. Even your elders will be surprised with what you're saying. You understand? I've had instances where, like, I can remember instances where I spoke and the thing I said has changed how people viewed me and treated me for the rest of my life. And I'm not even saying in a bad way. Yes, they might have reacted in a bad way, like, I don't know. But I just feel like the things I said have created impact and gained me this permanent respect or permanent perception as to who I am. You know, they will not, like, people that were underestimating you from just that first instance or that your speech that made an impact, they will never see you the same way again. And I'm not saying in a bad way. They will start like respecting you and understanding that yes, this person might be young, but they are wise beyond their years. Do you understand? So that's the thing with your voice. When you speak to people, people like listen to you and they're surprised with how wise you are, you might feel like it's even a normal thing, but until somebody tells you, you will not even know that you are sounding so wise. You just feel like it's a normal thing, because a lot of us, we spend our time like doing research, leveling up, learning how to be a better person for ourselves, you know, just like the way you're listening to my video, the people, all of you that subscribe to this channel now, this video you're listening to is part of leveling up, it's part of like learning, it's part of research. Do you understand? So you spend your time doing and consuming a lot of this content, leveling up, motivating yourself and becoming a better person, and little by little all those things you're consuming starts to shape your identity. You actually start to become a better person. You learn to articulate yourself more clearly, you know, you just become better and you don't even know it. So when you're expressing yourself to people, you feel like you're just expressing yourself, but they are really like surprised with how you express yourself so clearly. They're surprised with how clear your goals are, how you know what you want, the steps you are taking, you know, the things you have achieved. They're surprised with the amount of certainty that you know yourself. You understand? Like that you have no doubt on who you are. You know, you have no doubt. Yes, you might have insecurities, but you know yourself. That you're confident in yourself. You know, you understand? So when people hear you talk and, you know, defend yourself or state who you are, they're surprised. A lot of people will also be shocked by the boldness with the things you say. It's not like you're saying anything bad, but it's just that you know your words, and they're surprised with the amount of certainty that you have about who you are, that you're not shaking, because they're not surprised. They're not used to people being so bold about who they are and what they want, you know. So when you behave like that, sometimes it will trigger people, like it will trigger some people, but some people it will inspire them and they will appreciate your words of wisdom. I had one guy that I was speaking to, but with the way I was sounding like very certain of like how nobody can, you know, pull me down or stuff like that, something like that. And he started getting triggered, like he started like comparing himself to me, like it was crazy. And I'm like, even if you come against me, you will still lose. And he was so surprised. Like he was so shocked and surprised with my audacity to still stand against him in conversation. Like he was so surprised. But I didn't back down. I actually did not care. Because honestly, to me, if you came against me if you came against me, I'll win you. But even if I don't win you, it will be to the death, because I'm not going to back down from shit. Okay, so he was very surprised. So that's what I'm talking about. When you have that audacity, when you have this firm knowing in who you are, it's going to surprise people. A lot of time when you speak to people, your calm tone, your calm demeanor, your authoritative presence, all those things surprises people, because they expect people your age to like be so loose, open, to not know how to speak well or have such wisdom. But when you speak like that, it's like wow. And the funny thing is, they never forget this. They never forget it. Like they never forget the experiences they have with you when you speak words of wisdom. You understand? It leaves a lasting impact in people's life, and it changes people's perception on you permanently. But it changes it for the better, because now they will respect you, and that means like before they even like think of crossing you, they'll think twice. And when people talk about you, they already know that this is not the type of person you are. These are people that appreciate you, but the people that are jealous of you, they will not start looking at you and plotting like, I don't know she's this wise, oh, I don't know she could command the room like this, oh, they will start plotting on how to bring you down. A lot of you could command the room since you are small and you did not know. Like a lot of you commanded drums when you were little, but you do not know. But it's the evil people around you that knew. They realized how much impact your presence had. They realized how much people listened when you spoke, even as a child. And they will not like this. That's why they start coming against you when you're very little. You understand? But as you grow up, you tend to realize that your voice, the things you say, it has power. It leaves impact in people's life. Okay? It leaves impact in people's lives. So that is a very dominant trait to show that you are a chosen one. Yes, you are. And if you're watching the video, just know that your presence commands attention. Your words, your voice commands attention. Don't think you're just talking over 30 seconds, nobody cares. Everybody is actually paying attention to what you're saying. But the evil and jealous people will not want to acknowledge that, so that you don't know your words. So they will keep it to themselves. And they will never tell you how wise you are. Do you understand? They will keep it to themselves, and they will never tell you how wise you are. So that is one thing most of us that are chosen ones will experience in our lifetime. People telling you you're smart. People telling you you're wise. Whenever they want to describe you, they will always put the word, you're very smart, you're very smart. Sometimes you might be asked, am I very smart? Is it this simple advice I'm giving you that is making it easy, I'm smart also? But to you is nothing. But to them it's like, wow, this girl is very, very smart. Do you understand? So that's why you guys should know your words. That is another thing I'll tell you guys. Know your words. A lot of you give advice freely to people. Why? Not everybody deserves your advice. Do you know how precious you are? This is actually something me myself I'm realizing in real time as I'm telling you guys. I'm realizing that we chosen ones, we empaths, we are very, 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 very special. Very special. You have skills. You don't just have hand skills, you have emotional skills. You know how to listen to people when they're talking. That is a skill. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can sit down and listen to someone talk about their life for hours. You can do that. You can make people feel seen, feel heard. Most people are selfish. You are not selfish. Most people are selfish. They will not sit down and listen to you talk because they just want to talk about themselves. So can you see that you being able to listen to people is a currency which you should protect? It's valuable. Now imagine, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but a lot of us don't have people to share our good news with. When something good happens to you, you might look around and see that you don't have anybody to share it with, maybe because you're alone or you have disingenuous people around you, so you cannot share your good news with them unless they will hate and compete. So you realize that you don't really have anybody that will be genuinely 100% proud of you without any negativity. You don't really have someone that will celebrate you more than you celebrated yourself. You don't have those people. But when it's your turn, you will do it for them. That is currency. Listening to people is currency. Advising people, when you listen to them, you will come and start giving them advice. Have they ever given you advice? Have they ever given you advice? Are they there for you and you're going through shit to tell you, babe, forget this guy, he's not good for you? No, they don't have that wisdom. And I'm not saying, because they don't have the wisdom, you should not advise them. But when they're not pouring into you in that way, you should withhold your value. Do not give it to people for free. Advising people should not be given for free. Sitting down and listening to people, staying on a call and listening to people, asking people about their life because you want to make them feel seen and heard. All those things should not be given for free anymore. It should not. Start gatekeeping it. Gatekeep yourself. When some people, they will not even care, because they will not even wait for you to ask them again. If they see that you're not asking them, they will now want to come and start trauma dumping on you by force without you saying, what happened? They want to come and tell you what happened by force. Pay them no mind. Give them no listening ear. Leave them on red. Because you know that your attention, your reply, your engagement in their conversation is currency. Why is it currency? Because you're going to make them feel seen. And you're going to make them feel validated. And you're going to help them ease the tension in their life, because now they have someone to listen to them. But are they ever there for you when you want someone to talk to? No. So you have to limit that access. You have to withdraw that privilege. Okay? So do not give everybody advice. Do not give everybody access to you. Your warmth, your depth, your time, your attention, your presence. Currency, currency, currency. Do not give everybody access to it. Okay? So that'll be all for today's video. Hope I was able to, teach you guys one or two. And I'm going to see you in my next video. You guys should stay blessed and stay hydrated. Bye.